Welcome, everyone. Hello. Hi, I'm Deborah Diamond, curator of South and Southeast Asian art at the Freer Gallery of Art and the Arthur M. Sackler Gallery, and I am delighted to welcome you to the National Museum of Asian Art and to our festival, Transcendence, a Sufi music festival, that today promises to transport you from wherever you are for an hour to another place and another plane. The music festival is one of a series of Freer Sackler events that explore the intersections of art and religion. They were made possible by a generous grant from the E.J. Lilly Foundation, and our Sufi concerts in particular allow us to consider how we present religious ideas, expressions, and practices that are oral rather than visual. So today, we have an amazing program. Walid Ben Selim, whose ethereal voice and deep understanding of Sufi thought will completely transport you, will perform with harpist Marie Marguerite Cano. They will be introduced by Alain Weber, the artistic director of our Transcendence Festival. Alain first started bringing Sufi musicians to Europe in the 1970s, and today he is director of two world-famous festivals, the Fez Festival of Sacred Music in Morocco, and the World Sacred Spirit Festival in Nagaur and Jodhpur, India. In these, Alain creates platforms that preserve the depth and integrity of sacred music traditions, but that also at the same time allow for trans-regional collaborations. And we'll explore that collaborative spirit today. And this is not commercial fusion music, but rather the embodiment of art and religion, of music, and depth of feeling. Now over to you, Alain.
Hello, Deborah. So I'm very pleased to be part of this program. Before maybe to start to listen our friend Walid, I would like maybe just make a small introduction about Sufi music, in the sense that I was thinking this morning how this poetry have been living 2 centuries to finally reach our modern world, and I found it quite amazing. The context in the old times where all these people, these mystical pilgrims were traveling to seas, mountain and desert for months sometimes to spread their revelation or searching for knowledge was amazing. You know, they were going from one Sufi brotherhood to another one called Tariqa, means the way to follow. And they were just meeting a master to receive teaching and blessing from him. And before everything, we must not forget that the main aspect of Sufi practice is, in that case, what they call in Arabic the silsila, meaning necklace originally, is the chain of transmission. The transmission is all the basic foundation of Sufism, and this is between master and the disciple 2 times. So even if you carry on some new theological concept, at any time you have to be first a disciple, a murid. So all these mystical pilgrims, they have been traveling from the beginning of the 8th century. They went absolutely everywhere. They went to Central Asia, Samarkand, Afghanistan, India, Baghdad, Damascus, Konya, Iran, Kurdistan, and many more. From Andalusia, like a famous poet, for example, Al-Arabi, they were going first to Maghreb, city of Fez, Kairouan, Tlemcen. They were crossing all North Africa to reach Cairo, Jerusalem, and then finally, of course, the Mecca. So, of course, the idea of lifetime was totally different those days. One travel was taking like several months, and it makes me think of this famous sentence from Persian poet Omar Khayyam, speaking how lifetime is short. In fact, it's a little scary. He was saying, enjoy this moment is your life. So last week we were in the desert of Rajasthan with the Indo-Persian poetic tradition, with our friends Mangania and Langas community, which, by the way, are still learning the Sufi poetry by oral tradition. And now we are going in the mountains of Pyrenees. Things have changed today. In 1 minute, we are just technically connected with the old world. So now we will discovering more the historical poetry how it's inspiring different contemporary artists, like, for example, Walid Ben Selim. He's reinterpreting the old Sufi poetry in Arabic, like amongst other the poetry of the famous poet Mansur al-Hallaj. We must not forget that some of those Sufi poets were quite out of mind, inspired also from the Greek master of philosophy. They were developing specific mystical theories, and sometimes it put them in a situation of outlaw regarding the official Islam. And it said that Mansur al-Hallaj, for example, originally from Persia, after traveling almost to China, was finally crucified in Baghdad in the 10th century for proclaiming, "I am the truth," in Arabic, "Ana al-Haq." So Walid Ben Selim is a young interpreter of this wonderful poetry. He's born in Casablanca, and he has been through rap music, Oriental metal rock, and he had many musical experience in his young life. He created this ensemble called Nurdistan. Nurdistan is an imaginary country for a new inspiration. And later, he got much more inspired by the Greek poets of the Arab world and of the East, and is proving by his own way that this inspiration is still nowadays very important. So he will be singing also, which is interesting, the famous Palestinian poet Mahmoud Darwish, who died in Houston in 2008. The poetry of Mahmoud Darwish is also inspired by a real sense of spirituality, and his poetry became now universal, like, for example, the songs of Bob Dylan or the poetry of Arthur Rimbaud. So let's meet now Walid Ben Selim, that will be singing for us some beautiful poetry.
كم دمعة فيك لي ما كنت أجريها، وليلة لست أفنى فيك أفنيها. كم دمعة فيك لي ما كنت أجريها، وليلة لست أفنى فيك أفنيها. ونظرة منك يا سؤالي ويا أملي، أشهى إلي أشهى إلي من الدنيا وما فيها كم دمعة فيك لي ما كنت أجريها وليلة لست أفنى فيك أفنيها لم أسلم النفس للأسقام تتلفها إلا لعلمي بأن الوصل يحييها ونظرة منك يا سؤالي ويا ملي أشهى إلي من الدنيا وما فيها نفس المحب على الآلام صابرة لعل مسقمها يوما يداويها الله يعلم ما في النفس جارحة إلا وذكرك فيها قبل ما فيها ولا تنفست إلا كنت في نفسي تجري بك الروح مني في مجاريها إن كنت أضمرت غدرا أو هممت به فلا بلغت روحي يمانيها أو كانت العين منذ فارقتكم نظرت شيئا سواكم فخانت أمانيها ولا تنفست إلا كنت في نفسي تجري بك الروح مني في مجاريها شكرا. Thanks a lot. My name is Walid Ben Selim. I'm really happy to be with you today. Hope you will enjoy it. Hope you are doing well and everything going good. For the next song, I will call Alan Diaz on the guitar and Mael Rifid on the cello. The next song is poetry is from the 9th century, from المتنبي. نعد المشرفية والأوالي وتقتلنا المنون
تقتلنا المنون بلا قتال ونرتبط السابق مقربات ولا لا تنجينا من خبب الليالي نصيبك في حياتك من حبيب نصيبك في منامك من خيالي رماني الدار بالآثار حتى فؤادي في غشاء من نبال نعد المشرفية والأواني وتقتلنا المنون بلا قتال ونرتبط السابق مقربات وما ينجينا من خبب الليالي نعد المشرفية والأواني وتقتلنا المنون بلا قتال ونرتبط السوابق مقربات حياتك من حبيب نصيبك في خيالك من منامي رماني الدار بالأرزاق حتى أوجع من نبالي وهانا فما أبالي لأني ما انتفعت بها أبالي نعد المشرفية والعوالي وتقتلنا المنون بلا قتال ونرتبط الثوابت مقربات وما نعد المشرفية والعوالي وتقتلنا المنون بلا قتال ونرتبط الثوابت يا نسمة البان حبي على رسوم المحب وما عليك إذا ما وقدت نيران قلبي تكتم السر الليلة فالطيب عنها يبني العقول ويبدي أبدا بذكرك تنقضي أوقاتي ما بين سنباري وفي خلواتي واحد الحسن البديع لذاته أنا واحد الأحزان فيك لذاتي
Marie Marguerite Cano. Alain Diaz, Maël Rouifd. Next song is called Huna wal An, Here and Now, from Mahmoud Darwish.
ها هنا الآن بين شظايا الشيء واللا شيء نحيا في ضاح الأبدية نلعب الشطرنج أحيانا ولا نبو بالأبدار خلف الباب ما زلنا هنا نبني من الأنقاض أبراج حمام قمرية نعرف الماضي ولا نمضي ولا نقضي ليالي الصيف بحثا عن فروسيات أمس الذهبية نحن من نحن ولا نسأل من نحن ما زلنا هنا نرتق ثوب الأزلية ولنا نصف حياة ولنا نصف ممات ومشاري خلود وهوية نحن أحياء وباقون وللحلم بقية وللحلم بقية ها هنا فيما تبقى من كلام الله فوق الصخر نتلو كلمات الشكر في الليل وفي الفجر فقد يسمعنا الغيب ويوحي لفتى منا بسطر من نشيد الأبدية الآن الآن بين الأمس والغد تغسل امرأة زجاج البيت لا تنسى ولا تتذكر الآن السماء نظيفة الآن يسألني صديق ما هي السعادة الآن ثم يمضي قبل الجواب الآن بين الآنس والغد برزخ متموج ومؤقت يقف الزمان كأنه يقف هنية بين منزلتين الآن البلاد جميلة وخفيفة الآن ترتفع التلال لترضع الغيم الشفيف وتسمع الإلهام الغد يا نصيب الحائرين الآن نحيي ماضيا وغدا معا ونسير في جهتين قد تتبادلان تحية شعرية الآن ينبت حاضر من زارة الرمان من زارة الرمان
Next song is called أنا آت إلى ظل عينيك. Welcome to the shadow of your eyes.
الزمان البعيد ومن لمعان السلاسل أنت كل النساء اللواتي مات زواجهن وكل التواكل أنت العيون التي فر منها الصباح حين صارت تغاني البلابل ورقا يابسا في مهب الرياح أنا آت إلى ظل عينيك أنا آت إلى ظل عينيك آت أنت بيتي ومنفاتي أنت أراضي التي دمرتني أنت أراضي التي حولتني سماء لست كوكبا طالع من كتاب الأغاني على تمام تشرب صوت المغني لغة الدم حين تصير شوارع غابة لا تموتي على تلك أنا آت
Alain Diaz, merci beaucoup. Maël Louis, merci beaucoup. Thanks. Thank you. And for the last song, we will perform a poem from the 10th century, al-Hallaj, Bihar al-Hawa, Oceans of Love.
جلست إلى قوم نحدثهم إلا وأنت حديثي بين جلاسي ما زلت أطفو في بحار
تارة يرفعني موجها وتارة وغدت حتى إذا سيرني في الهوى إلى مكان ما لو شبت ناديت يا من لم أبوح باسمه ولم أخنه في الهوى قبض ناديت يا من لم أبح باسمه ولم أخنه في الهوى قبض والله ما طلعت شمس ولا غربت إلا ولا جلست واسأل نجوم الليل هل زار الكرى جفني وكيف يزور من لم يعرفني لا غر ويشحب بغمض جفونها عيني وبما جرى في موقف التوديع من ألم النوى شاهدت هول الموقف أفوق لعفاس النسيم تعلة ولوجه من نقلت شداه تشوفي فلعل نار ودي نار حبي هلا تطفي والله ما طلعت شمس ولا غربت إلا وحبك مقرونا بأنفاسي ولا جلست إلى قوم أحدثهم إلا وأنت حديثي بين جلاسي والله ما طلعت شمس ولا غربت إلا ولا جلست إلى قوم أحدثهم إلا وأنت حديثي بين جلاسي Marie Marguerite Cano. Thanks. It was an honor to perform for you today. We hope next time we will meet in real and play, perform for you in real life. Stay safe. Thanks.
Thank you so much, Walid, for giving us a taste of the transcendent. Will you come online with us now?
Hello.
Welcome. Welcome. Thank
Hi.
you. And everyone, what you just heard was a recording because we weren't totally sure that Walid's Wi-Fi was perfect today. But he's been online all along, and he's been answering a lot of your questions, but I know you couldn't see them all. And so Alain and Walid are joining us for a Q&A, and I'm going to take the questions that you all asked and bring them out to the group, if that's okay. But Walid, if you have a favorite question that anyone asked you, you could, okay?
There is a lot of people asking if it's a traditional way to sing Sufi. No, it's Sufi poetry, and I'm loving mix it with the Occidental or Oriental instruments. So it's a new way. It's original pieces. So yeah, that's it.
That's good. Well, one thing, that I had really hoped for in today's program, which we had, and which so many people, commented on, they kept asking as they came online, like for the verses, again and again. And it's, for me, so much more meaningful to hear the meaning. But I wondered if you could say whether you find that the meaning in here's, is inherent in the music or in the verses or in the combination of the two, or how you bring them together to bring out more feeling?
The first thing, it's for me, the first language is music. So we can transcend like everything just with music. When I was young, I was listening to a powerful singer singing in English. In Morocco, we don't learn English. But I was connected with the singer. And yeah, so for me, the first language is music. And then when you listen to when you read Sufi poetry, especially al-Hallaj or of al-Mutanabbi, it's poetry coming from the 10th century or 9th century, and it's still talking to us. So it's kind of universal words, and it's work really simply with new music, with new kind of instruments. Even if you there is in the 10 or the 9th of the 10th century, we cannot connect with a musician in Europe. For me, it was difficult to connect between Arabic word or in Europe also. Yeah, I like this kind of thing, to connect between culture, to make a bridge between cultures and music, and it's work. So
One of the things that a lot of our audience was commenting on today, and I felt this too, like we were with you on the outskirts of eternity there, because we're all, or so many of us are in mourning right now. We're in mourning for our beloved Justice, Ruth Bader Ginsburg, for John Lewis, for like so many people who have died during this year of the plague. And I wondered if you could either elaborate on that poem, The Outskirts of Eternity, or maybe on that why we were all having that feeling of being so comforted. Is that connected to like a sort of a Sufi type of thought? We were all feeling very comforted.
That's great. That's great. I don't know, because I think it's a combination between this powerful poetry that's it's talk to the soul for me, and I try to sing it just with the heart. So yeah, if it's work, it's good. I don't know if there's the sense of your question. No? This is this one. Yeah.
Well, I wish you would talk a little bit more about that poem. You know, the one
Yeah.
that has the outskirts of eternity.
Yeah. It's this one. This one is from the Darwish. So I like it so much. It's here and now, and I don't know how to say, but I think even the English translation is really good because he have this power of words. We can translate it in all the languages. Talk to the heart, uh, like like we are a part of this eternity, and we are the eternity too. So yeah, I don't know. I'm really bad to speak about about words. So yeah.
Well, I'm very you've done more than anyone could do with regular words. But Alain, I'm really happy if you join in this conversation and answer questions.
Yeah.
Alain, can we give you a space?
Hey.
You know what's happened with Walid, and that really is because sometimes people have the idea of Sufi music like people being ecstasy, completely ecstasy and joy and everything. But it's not often the case. Most of the time, it's a type of deep sadness. It's a longing. They are longing for the love of God. They are searching for the love of God. And there's a lot of suffering too. And he has this way of showing the very strong sensibility to show this type of emotion. It's not only like what they call the tarab, the ecstasy that you are, we have this idea of the willing dervish turning around and falling around. No, most of the Sufi poetry is very deep inside, and people sometimes they spend years to looking for a sign of God, and that's really, I think, he has understood this type of sensibility of spirituality, and that's why it makes Walid very touching our art. And I would say that I was quite amazed also by the arrangement you did, Walid, the musician you brought. It was absolutely amazing. It was something new that myself I never saw before. And I was just, I know you're in love with the Mahmoud Darwish poetry and Hallaj. I was just wondering the first time in your life when you heard your first contact with Sufi poetry in your life, when it was?
It was in yeah, it was yeah. It's a good question because I was in Spain in Andalusia, and with the friend, and he gave me Ibn Arabi for the master of masters, and actually Ibn Arabi was born in Andalusia too, and he traveled all over the world, the Mediterranean, to go to to go to see al-Hallaj, and one of the first poetry was علمت ربي لما علمت نفسي بنفسي. It means tu pourrais m'aider. J'ai connu Dieu quand je me suis connu moi-même. I don't know how to translate it in English, but yeah, I knew God when I knew myself, and it was like a revelation for me. Like you must to know yourself, to know the world, and to know everything around us. So yeah, this is my first connection with the Sufi poetry.
Yes, beautiful.
Beautiful. Well, to add on a much more, I guess, earthly plane. Have you played with these musicians before? Several people asked that.
Yeah.
So I found them, and also how you practiced with them during pandemic.
We have the chance to. I have the chance to be an associate artist with the Asilo. It's an organization in the south of France, and they give me a card to create what I want. So
I invite Marie Marguerite Cano on the harp maybe last year for 1 week to work together, and then the pandemic is coming, so we stopped. And in last week we met again and to work just for 1 week. So actually it's about 15 days working together. So yeah.
It was beautiful and it was very smooth.
Thanks. Thanks. There was really talented. I love to work with them all. Even Alain Diaz or Arifa. Yeah, there's really talented. I have a really good chance to work with them.
Well, I hope also that when we post this concert in a few weeks, that we'll also find a way to post for our audience, like where else we can hear you. I know that I went to Alain's music festival at Naugor in February and heard you several times there. It was totally transcendent. I've been waiting for another moment, for 6 months. I haven't left my house waiting for this moment.
Yeah, I'm waiting too. We are all waiting to see, because I was starting to make performances in June, last June, and we discovered that we all have an acoustic, not just the venue, or we all have an acoustic, and it's really different. So I hope to see you in real.
But this is making a really good connection for this time. Right now we're running out of time, and I know that people have to go back to work, or some people to dinner. And so I wanted to thank you again, Walid, and your fellow musicians.
Thank you
for making this program and this whole festival possible, but also to thank my colleagues at the museum, Sana Mirza, Masme Farhad, Lizzie Stein, Kara Nolan, Hutomo Wakasano, and Andy Finch, just to name a few of them who have been working on this program. And thank you everybody very much for coming.